Record for the fastest one-day international 100, ABDEVILLIERS' supreme skill, invention and destructive hitting means he is one of the most talented batsmen the game has ever seen. We spent a day with him to discover the method behind the genius that makes him the white ball king. AB, here we are at your home ground, Supersport Park. Can you remember when you first came to this place?
Yes, I can. I was about 11 years old. My dad decided one, I think Saturday afternoon, that we needed to come through to watch the test match here between South Africa and England in 1995. It was Sean Pollock's debut test match, his first game ever, and I watched him get his first wicket. I had a Jonty Rhodes cap, a green one with Jonty in gold on my forehead. I remember watching him hit some balls in the net, so it was pretty cool.
Did you ever dream, sitting there with your Jonty Rhodes cap, that one day you'd end up playing for South Africa and also achieve everything you have achieved?
I never in my wildest dreams thought that I was going to play here. I always had dreams of playing on a big stage in any kind of sport, but never thought I'd be here today.
You spent a lot of time in your youth knocking a tennis ball up against a wall. Is it Warmbad? Have I pronounced that right?
Yes.
Your hometown. Visualising playing in front of a massive crowd. So you must have felt that you always wanted to be centre stage and be a bit of an entertainer like you are now.
That started many years ago. My grandfather used to sit reading his newspaper against the wall, and I used to hit the balls around him and try and get it as close as possible to him, testing my skill a bit. He never flinched and always just complimented me and told me to keep going and keep playing. But anyway, long story short, I always had the dream of playing some kind of sport in a big way and on the big stage. My dream came true, and yeah, just amazing, huge privilege.
The world record now belongs to ABDEVILLIERS. The fastest 100 in ODI cricket belongs to this man, the South African captain.
You're quite unique in your trigger movements, especially in one-day cricket. You just get your trigger movements out of the way and set yourself.
I'm glad you say unique, because I believe that's what every sportsman's got to try and achieve in his career, no matter what sport you're playing. Especially a batsman, you have to find yourself and your own game and your unique game. I've changed a little bit here and there. I'm not scared of changing. I've changed my technique a lot over the years, but once I go through it now, you'll see that it's all very basic. The most important thing is my head position. For every single bowler I face, every shot I try and play, my head's got to be in a strong position. I almost draw a pitch map from where the bowler's releasing the ball. And when I see that pitch map, I just want to operate with my head in that pitch map. I always draw it straight to my stump. So I don't want to go that side of the pitch map or this side of the pitch map. I just want to operate in that pitch map, forward and back. I think you would have seen on the internet a coaching video too, where I talk about the rhythm of my backswing. So I like to have a bit of a rhythm with my bat, and that also changes a bit. I take that away when the ball's swinging a lot. I try and keep it a little bit more still. But once I'm in and things are going, I like to have a lot of movement with my hands, because I believe that's where the talent lies, is in your hands and how quickly you can adapt and react to certain deliveries.
I have watched some of those videos. You also talk about batting in a box.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
In very simple terms, it's waiting for the ball. I'm a very useless cricketer if I don't play in that box around my body. The minute I leave it, and like I used to do in the first 4 or 5 years of my international career, I had very hard hands. I used to leave my body a lot, and I nicked off. I got an LBW. I got out in all kinds of ways, and hitting the ball to covers in the air. So that all I felt were soft dismissals, and after a very frustrating start to my career, I sort of forced myself to play the ball later.
Is all this stuff even for one-day cricket when you first go in, or is that completely different? The box goes, the playing late goes,
yeah,
the ball goes.
You think I'm lying, but it's for all the formats. I always search for a straight drive first up, because I get into the best kind of positions when I look for that ball. When I premeditate, and there's always room for that later on in the innings, but when I premeditate too early on in my innings, I lose my positions and I get into bad positions. I tend to get out in soft ways as well.
I fully understand in test match cricket, you're trying to play the ball late, early on, you're trying to survive. In one-day cricket, especially now you're moving up the order in T20, etc., you're looking to attack. How do you go from a low backlift, playing the ball late, to I'm just going to belt this out of the ground?
your instinct do take over sometimes. Before I walk out to bat, I know exactly what kind of situation I'm confronted with. I know what's required of me, whether we're looking for boundaries or not. So that's always in the back of my mind. Do we need ones? Can I afford to have a few dot balls or not? So that's in the back of my mind, but my basics with my technique do not change at all.
Right, we haven't come to Supersport to watch you block it. Let's see if we can get some shots. Well, should we start maybe with a cover drive?
Right, here we go.
Perfect, lovely. Shot. Now you've absolutely nailed some check drives there. Why do you prefer the check drive?
A few reasons. I get into good positions when I do that. I don't lose my shape. And secondly, I still have enough power. I've realized that over the years, if I just time the ball, I still have enough power to get it to the boundary. As long as I place it well, and if I play it late enough, I tend to create a lot of power.
You sometimes just really flat bat it. I mean, we saw in the series against England, you sort of throw your hands at it. You almost hit it on the top of the bounce and hit it straight. ABDEVILLIERS flat bats one through the offside before.
When I'm not quite there, and I'm maybe not there with the length, I prefer to keep it down and maybe take the dot ball, but if I do get it right, I'll get my 4. As long as it doesn't go in the air, because you don't always have full control of where the ball's going.
Do you want to show us a few full-blooded drives?
Top spin,
yeah, top spin tennis shots?
Sure.
Shot.
It's a little bit too far behind. Time for a boundary.
Shot. That's the one. You're a fantastic player of spin. What are the basics of playing spin?
I've watched guys like Villiers and some of the best players who play spin throughout their careers. I played with Villiers at Delhi Daredevils for 3 years, and I watched him not moving his feet an inch and just playing with his hands, really forcing himself to play it late. Obviously in games you need to move down and up a little bit, rock back on the back foot. But you'll see, well, I find that I time the ball a lot better, and I'll pick up the lines of the balls a lot better if I don't move a lot.
And are you a premeditator? You know, you're thinking, I'm going to sweep this next ball, or you just see it and play it?
Sometimes. I don't think there's anyone in the cricketing world that don't premeditate sometimes. It is important to, well, especially for me, it's important to know what I'm trying to do. I don't premeditate very often unless I know what the bowler's trying to do, and unless the situation of the game calls out for a certain shot. The sweep shot I feel is premeditated. I can still adapt if it's not there and play a back foot drive or try and get one. But it is a premeditated shot. Coming down the wicket is premeditated.
Launched and smashed. That has gone a very long way indeed. Right out of the screws. A long way back into the crowd.
It's just a situation of the game that calls out to me to do something with the information that I've picked up in the last few balls.
Okay, we've got Jacques, our local off-spinner here, who's absolutely thrilled he's come to bowl at ABDEVILLIERS. Jacques, good luck, mate.
Sweetly timed. The hallmark of a quality, high-quality batsman, ABDEVILLIERS.
Maybe you've swept the ball there.
Yeah.
How many different sweeps do you have, would you say? Just the orthodox? Do you have a slog sweep? I
can hit it wherever I want to, basically, on the leg side. Depending on the line of the ball, obviously, and also depending on the area that I'm looking to attack. That specific shot, I just try to get bat on ball, just to try to get the first sweep out of the way, because it's not an easy shot. I'll just make sure that I get as low as possible. I don't like the ball to beat me at the bottom of my bat when I'm sweeping, so I always try and almost sweep it like a broom. I learned this from Yunus Khan, the Pakistani batsman. He's got this bat very, very low. He doesn't mind getting out to top edge, but he doesn't want to get LBW and bowled.
Okay, I'm going to pack the leg side. It's a long boundary leg side, short boundary offside. I want you to open up the offside, is that right?
Ek gaan alles weg kan slaan, hoor. So try my om te keer om dit te doen nie. I asked him to try and stop me to hit it through the offside.
Right.
So he's going to come as straight as possible because he's realised that he's you know.
So you're challenging
just to make it
yourself.
as real as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shot. AB, great shot.
Watch it!
Watch
Oh.
it! Oh!
How unlucky is that? Sorry, boys.
How much are those cameras worth?
Hopefully just the plastic.
Yeah, it's
Just the plastic. Sorry, guys.
Right, last ball, 6 to win. Moeen Ali, Mumbai, 2020 game.
It's the long boundary, but I'll take it.
6.
On the rope.
The Australian Grand Prix, only on Sky Sports.
Oh, he's plucked that. He's laced it. What a beauty that is.
This one was on his pads, it was in the slot.
Exactly what he's setting himself for, ABDEVILLIERS.
When you're in and you have to go for it, the shot over mid-wicket, the leg out of the way, have you always had that shot? Is it a natural shot to you?
It is fairly natural. It's very similar to a golf swing. I don't like to play it. You'll see me play that very late in my innings, or when we're in such a position where I can really just let go. The reason for that is I think you've got a strike rate of about 5 or 6 out of 10. They don't always come off unless you really read the bowler well and you get him to bowl in a certain area where you want him to bowl, which happens sometimes, and that's nice. And your strike rate's 9 or 10 out of 10 sometimes. But just to have a hack, I feel it's not worth it, because you do get out off a length ball. You can't hit consistently well.
Is it premeditated, that sort of shot? As he's running in, you're thinking if it's length, it's going over there.
It is premeditated, because you've got to open up a little bit. You can still adapt to certain lengths, but you're more often than not looking at a cow area. That's why a lot of people believe in T20 cricket. You always need to have a cow for all the kind of bowlers, not just the spin bowlers, because the minute the guy opens up and he looks to do the death hitting, 90% of the balls go to cow.
Here we go, 100 for de Villiers. And what a way to do it.
That's the area where you're looking to hit, unless the bowler goes wide of the stumps. But it's a premeditated shot, there's no doubt about that, and that's why I don't like to play it too often, unless I have an idea of where the bowler is going to bowl.
Is it about having just a solid base and not lifting your head and not trying to hit too hard? Is that the key? Are they the keys for you?
I still do my back and across, and then but instead of the next movement just going straight down my pitch map, I do clear the leg a little bit, and then I still have my head on my pitch map. So nothing else has changed except for I've got a bigger base for more power. I've got a base for more power.
Okay, well, I brought mid-wicket up, foolishly as a captain. I've covered all your funky shots, the check drive's covered, so you have to go in that area. I know you don't like it, but you have to go towards the big scoreboard.
No problem.
Shot. Great shot. Shot.
They go the furthest normally, short of the length.
De Villiers is going to hit this for 6. Yep, he has. He's made it count.
The moment the camera was on and we were rolling, first ball disappeared out of the park. It's almost like you enjoy the pressure, you enjoy being on camera, on TV.
I do, I really do. I've had great and bad experiences under pressure, so we're all human after all, and you know that failure can be around the corner, but there's always opportunity of great success. And I think the reason why I do enjoy the pressure is because I've sort of made peace over the years to fail. I think that's really important for a sportsman to achieve throughout his career, is to understand that you're going to fail sometimes, but if you keep pushing and if you keep believing that that great knocks around the corner.
So those cries of A, B, don't faze you at all, they lift you.
They definitely lift me, there's no doubt about that. I don't know why and where that comes from, but there's no doubt in my mind. The first time that it happened, 3 or 4 years ago. Once I got a bit of momentum going and the crowd started cheering my name, I thought I was hearing voices in my head, but after a while I realized they're actually cheering for me, and that definitely lifted my game, and it's always been like that ever since.
De Villiers down on one knee, innovative, to say the least.
What about these shots you play, the little scoop shots where you go across the crease? You don't overwork on these shots,
no.
You just take them into the game and deliver.
Yeah,
How?
I don't like to practice them, I really don't. It's a very awkward, uncomfortable shot. Those shots I play, it's obviously premeditation, and that is just completely reading the situation of the game and being in a moment where you just can't help yourself, you're just letting go. I feel that with those slog to cow corner, maybe it's a 5, 6 out of 10. I don't feel the bowler's going to bowl in the right area. So that's where those shots come into play, and you try and get a boundary, try to get the bowler off his game and get him to think in a different way. I don't practice them, but I do believe that I've got enough natural ability, and because of other sports as well, like tennis, hockey and golf and all of that, to just keep my head still. I still don't change that. I keep my head still and still to make contact with the ball and not overreading it.
How do you keep your head still? Because you're not like a Dilshan or even a Butler. You're a little bit more a pickup with power. I mean, those shots, the 31 ball 100, you were shuffling across and picking them up for 6.
Yes.
How do you do that? Move, but not move too much with your head?
Yes, that's a good point. I actually don't think about it, and I don't know how much I move until I see myself on the TV. But what is noticeable is at point of delivery, my head still. It doesn't move at all. So I do get across, I do make the bowler think a bit and hopefully panic a bit. And that's from there on, I just back my skill to make sure, well, the most important thing is then to make contact. So I keep my head still and I'm thinking about making contact. My ability will take over from there. If it's a full toss, I can obviously go with it a bit. If it's short, I'll have to get up a touch and pull it. So those things just happen automatically because of many years of cricket. But those basics are still in place. No matter what you do and what you're thinking, you still got to play the ball and watch the ball and see the ball. If you don't do that, it's game over.
I know you're not comfortable practicing these things. Do you mind if you just have a few trying to hit it towards Castle Corner? Is that okay?
Let's try it.
Oh.
Okay, here we go.
Shot.
Can actually practice them.
That's 6. That's the one.
Oh no, it's naughty.
Okay, stop there. You say that's naughty.
Yeah. So
there's a classic example. As the bowler's running up to bowl, you're thinking, I'm hitting it there.
Yeah.
Why did you end up hitting it there?
Yeah, it was just a gut feel because of the length. The bowling machine was going a little bit shorter and shorter, and that length I just prefer to go a little bit more in front of square. It's basically what happens in games as well. As the bowler's coming in, you get a feel of what he's trying to do. Yeah, so I prefer to hit my lap shots when it's a bit fuller. When it's not full, got to adapt and try and get it in front of square.
Brilliant. Boy, the work of genius.
Bit of fancy footwork to start with. Marsh tried to react, and then just beautiful batsmanship skills.
What's the shimmy all about? Sometimes you do a little shimmy,
Yeah.
Sometimes you just go. What's that? Just to put the bowler off, or?
No, not really, because I do it very early. I feel I get into a really good position when I do that for the lap shot. I prefer to get on the offside of the ball, on that side, so that I can help it along. If it doesn't happen that way, I've got the option of hitting in front of square. But I do that just to get my momentum going in the right direction. I don't know why I do it. It's because I've never missed the ball when I do that. So it's just it's a bit of a superstition, almost a habit. It's a good habit that I have because of past successes with it.
That knock you got, the 131 balls, you played a couple of shots this side.
Yes.
Now this is putting you out of your comfort zone.
It's a little bit easier.
It's easier?
Yeah.
I thought it'd be harder. I'm thinking I'm going to get hit here.
No, it's a bit easier, but it's not as effective. I'll get a boundary probably 6, 7 out of 10, whereas that is almost 10 out of 10.
Right, do you mind having a go?
I'll have a few.
Then he reverses it. He reverses a quick bowler. There's genius in this.
Hot. First up. That is remarkable. Shot. Oh. Right, I'm going to go third man. All right?
Okay.
So you're just trying to get it over my head.
That's
not
right.
over here. It's not like that one where you're trying to hit it for 6.
That's the thing. I can't get maximums with him.
Right.
Or hardly ever.
So
Sometimes
this is just get it. Third man's up. Captain's brought him up. You're trying to get it over my head. Just like that. This is bad captaincy.
Oh, it's out.
Oh! Caught ABDEVILLIERS out.
A great
I'm
catch.
back. Oh. Keep going. That's made my tour of South Africa. The Nasser Hussain Masterclass. Shot. Great shot, AB. Brilliant, AB. Brilliant. One shot we haven't mentioned is the switch hit. Is it a shot of yours? Have you played it? Will you play it?
No, never.
Never?
It doesn't make sense to me. It never will. Some guys played really well. KP I've seen in quite a few occasions clearing the boundary rope on that side. To me, I've got better shots with less risk. Maybe not getting 6, but I prefer to play it like that. With the offside sweeper, that doesn't make sense to me to play the switch hit.
AB, it's been a pleasure watching you bat today. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Nasser.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers.